Hey everyone, this is Matt, and I got something very special for you guys today. Um, yeah, some of you will know, and others of you will not know. Alright, for those of you who do know, this is a game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists of the Roses, came out in 2001 on the PlayStation 2. So I was 10 years old when this first came out, and I remember loving this game. This game is amazing. I recently got back into it. Why? Because I got bored of Master Duel. It got a little stale. Yeah, I don't know. I just had like a feeling of nostalgia. It made me want to go back to this game. So yeah, I booted up my PlayStation 2 emulator. I downloaded the game. I do own a legal copy of it. It's at my parents' house on the other side of the country. So instead of just to make things easier, I'm on an emulator. So this is the ROM of the game. Alright, so today I'll be doing a Dark Magician deck profile for Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelists of the Roses. So, yeah, I really enjoy this game. If you've never played this game before and you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, go try this out. This is a very, very fun game. Yeah, and you can play Dark Magician. You can make a lot of like fun decks, right? Obviously this came out at a time when there weren't so many cards, right? Like nowadays we normal summon Alistair. Back in the day we used to normal summon like fucking La Jin, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp, and Goblin Attack Force. So yeah, that's when this game was from. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Um, all right. So Dark Magician deck profile. So for your deck leader, we're gonna go with the Witch's Apprentice. So why do we go? Hold on, let me sort these cards. Actually, before we start, okay. So why do we go with the Witch's Apprentice as our deck leader if we are a Dark Magician deck? Shouldn't we be running Dark Magician as a deck leader? Well, the thing about Witch's Magician Apprentice, sorry, not Witch's Magician, compare is that she's a level 2 spellcaster, and one thing in this game about level 2 spellcasters and lower is that they can learn one additional leader ability, so she can learn four, as opposed to Dark Magician, who can only learn three leader abilities. Now, she can learn the same leader ability as Dark Magician, but one additional one. The main difference here is for one of the leader abilities is when she's your leader, she increases the strength of spellcasters around her, increases by 200 attack and defense. Meanwhile, if you had Dark Magician as your leader, he would actually increase the attack and defense of surrounding spellcasters by 500, right? So you might say that's better, but her, Witch's Apprentice final fourth ability, which Dark Magician does not have, which I think is crucial, is terrain change. So the ability to change the terrain, and every time you move your leader, you basically change the terrain that she lands on into Yami. Yami terrain increases the attack and defense of spellcaster monsters by 500, so you definitely want that, especially on maps where you have like annoying terrain like Sogen, which decreases spellcasters, or even like Crush, which like just prevents high-level monsters from even existing, right? You definitely want to, yeah, play her. Over Dark Magician as your deck leader. So. I mean, I had other options. Like, there are other level 2 spellcasters. Just most of them, like, I was the three options I had were, or at least for recognizable monsters, were Witch's Apprentice, Time Wizard, or Magician of Faith. Right? Time Wizard just seemed like and Magician seemed a little off theme if I'm making a Dark Magician deck. Magician of Faith was technically a level 1 spellcaster, but so she increases the attack of nearby spellcasters by 100, not 200. Um, but yeah, I went with Wee Witch, or not Wee Witch, Witch's Apprentice. Wee Witch is the Link monster. Witch's Apprentice because she's a dark spellcaster, whereas Time Wizard and Magicians of Faith are light spellcasters. Just seemed like it fit the theme more. It doesn't really matter though. Ability-wise, she's similar to the Time Wizard when she's your deck leader. So, all right, so let's get into the main to the deck now. So we will be running the main man himself 3 copies of Dark Magician. So this is definitely a departure from what you're used to hearing. And only in this game can you justify running 3 copies of Dark Magician. Can't have a Dark Magician deck without Dark Magicians, and there's no reason not to have 3. It's a pretty strong boss monster. Summoning it with Witch's Apprentice immediately makes it 2,700 attack. If it gets a terrain bonus, it gets another 500 attack. So it can, it is formidable. You can attack over Blue Eyes, and since it's a dark monster, it has attribute priority over Blue Eyes. But really all light monsters. So light monsters that battle your dark monsters will be, assuming they survive the battle, will become spellbound for 1 turn. So yeah, I'm gonna say, oh, why not just build a Blue Eyes deck if you're just gonna? Well, I mean, there's a few advantages. Thing I want that's important to notice is that Dark Magician is a level 7 monster, whereas Blue Eyes is a level 8 monster. In this game, you don't tribute summon. You summon using like a resource that's like, I think it's like summoning points. You start with 4 on your first turn, and you generate 3 points every turn, right? So if you don't summon a monster on turn 1, and instead you go for a spell or trap play, you can summon Dark Magician on turn 2, which you can't necessarily do that for Blue Eyes. Yeah, the Blue Eyes, if you have a Blue Eyes deck and Blue Eyes is your leader, he can decrease the cost of summoning a Blue Eyes. But yeah, so I guess like in general, it's roughly the same cost. All right. So we talked about that. Before I get in, so we're running 3 copies of the Dark Magician Girl. She is not a brick in this deck. She's great. She's 1 cheaper to summon than the Dark Magician, and her ability in this game is actually better. So let's read it here. So when this card is flipped face up, so a lot of monsters in this game are flip effects, they're not continuous effects. Increase. Uh, it is increased by 500 points. 500 points. When it says increase by 500 points, that means attack and defense for every Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl found in all graveyards, right? So yeah, so she gets stronger by 500 rather than 300, and instead of Dark Magician and Magician of Chaos, or you know, Black Black Magician of Chaos, she actually gets boosted by having Dark Magician Girls in the graveyard. So this is why we want 3 of them. So the longer the game goes, like Dark Magician is like your opener, your starting monster. But the longer the game goes, if your other Dark Magicians get destroyed, suddenly you're gonna see Dark Magician Girl jump up to like 3,000, 3,500 plus attack, right? And each Dark Magician Girl that's slain, the next one is just gonna be much, much stronger, right? So yeah, so Dark Magician is your main monster, boss monster. Dark Magician Girl is a pretty good alternative. Now for our other monsters, so we're running 3 copies of Dark Elf. Dark Elf is really cool. She's a dark spellcaster, just like on theme for the deck. 4 stars, so definitely relatively cheap to summon. And 2,000 attack, which is pretty good. So you summon her with your deck leader, she's 2,200 attack, right? Her special ability says every time she battles, lose 50 life points. That's like barely a non-existent life point cost. So yeah, I've never had a situation where the 50 life points actually mattered. So yeah, she's really good. Next we have 3 copies of Gemini Elf. Gemini Elf is an Earth spellcaster, but she is a level 4, and she is a 1900 beater. No abilities, just a really strong monster that's relatively cheap to summon. Next, we have 3 copies of the Mystical Elf. So she's a light spellcaster. She's like the analog to the Dark Elf. 2,000 defense instead of attack, and she's a level 4. So why do we need her? Well, I like her because she's a very cheap monster to summon, and you can get like really high defense with her, right? So the Witch's Apprentice leader boosts all spellcasters, so dark or light. So she immediately summons out as 2200 defense, and if you read her ability, when this card is flipped face up, monsters of all powers up all your own light monsters by 800 points. So every light monster on the field, that's yours. So other mystical elves, as well as the other light monsters I'll show you in a bit, like Magician Faith, gained 800 points of attack and defense. So if you summon her, flip her, or like if she gets flipped and triggers her effect, she's now at 3000 defense, which is nutty, and 1800 attack, which is not bad, right? So pretty comparable to Gemini Elf, who's like will be 1900 to 2100, but like she's your main defense, right? And if you have multiple of her on the field, like they'll all just like power each. If you have 3 of them on the field, they can power each other up to like insane proportions, right? So very good. And since she's an 800 attack, at least until she's flipped, she can move on Crush terrain. Crush Fire's terrain. Alright, and then the last 3 monsters we have is Magician of Faith, 3 of them. So Magician of Faith is really good. Yeah, she's a light spellcaster. Level 1, so basically free to summon. The main reason we want her is because of her ability. When she's flip face up, select 1 spell from all graveyards and revive it in the summoning area. So TCG Magician's Faith returns a spell from your own graveyard to the hand. This Magician's Faith takes a spell from either graveyard and returns it to the puts it on the field. And for those of you who don't know, or maybe it's been a while since you played this game, when the text says spell, it also means traps. So this actually says when this card's face up, select 1 spell or trap from all graveyards and return it to the field, right? The summoning area is just the field, right? So yeah, she's really good. She basically is 3 more copies of every spell and trap in your deck. It's insane, right? Really, really good. So yeah, definitely a very important piece of the package. All right, spells. So we have 1 copy of Yami. Why do we want Yami? Well, because Yami increases the it creates like an area of dark terrain, or Yami terrain in a 2-space area from the center, and increases the attack and defense of all spellcasters in the Yami zones by 500, and decreases fairies by 500. So why am I only running 1? Well, because usually first of all, like your deck leader, the Witch's Apprentice, is already generating Yami just by moving around. Second of all, the field you're playing on might already contain Yami on it. And third of all, like the area that this generates the Yami on is so big, like relative to the size of the whole map, that you usually don't need more than 1. If you really want, you can just use Magician of Faith to revive your 1 copy and play it again. But I never really ran into this situation. I usually had like plenty of Yami, or like by couple turn. If I draw this early, like the map will be mostly Yami by the time I play it. So 1 copy of Dark Hole. Dark Hole is amazing in this game. It's the best board clear. Its effect says destroy all monsters and spell cards on the field. Recall that spell also means traps. So literally this should just say destroy all cards on the field. It's really good. And yeah, since it's a spell, it can be revived by Magician of Faith. This is a emergency like get out of jail free card. Like if things are going south, your opponent is overwhelming you, you just play Dark Hole. It just clears everything. Right. 3 copies of Tremendous Fire. So Tremendous Fire in this game is probably one of the most broken spells in the game. So this inflicts 1,000 points of damage to your opponent's life points. I don't recall how much Tremendous Fire inflicted in the TCG. But one thing I wanted to say is in this game you play with 4,000 life points, not 8,000. So each of these does like the first one does a quarter of their life points, second one does a third one does a half, right? If you play all 3 of them, they're down to 1,000 life points. And guess what? Magician of Faith can revive Tremendous Fire and just use it again. So you can literally just win a game with just 3 Tremendous Fire and 1 Magician of Faith. It's crazy. So yeah, this is a mandatory 3 of. Like, yeah, it's very easy to finish them off. Like once you've done the the damage. One copy of Swords of Revealing Light. This is also kind of a get out of jail free card, similar to Black Hole. It's a bit more utilitarian. It spellbinds all your opponent's enemy like cards face up and like revealing them, and they're stuck for 3 turns. So if they have any spells or traps face down, you get to see them, right? So that's another cool thing about this card is you get to see everything that they have on their field. Um, Also a one of because if you need more than once, you can revive with a Magician of Faith. Change of Heart. This is also a one of. Change of Heart's really good. I like it more than Brain Control. Brain Control says that you have to you take control of the highest attack monster on your opponent's field, but uh, but Change of Heart says select one of your opponent's cards on the field and control it for 1 turn. So this allows you to choose what card you want to take control of, and it says card. It doesn't say monster, so you can literally like take control of one of their spells or traps, which is pretty insane. And if you control one of their cards, you can use it to attack them directly, like you play it against them, or like if you have your own cards nearby, you can literally just run over their cards with yours, right? So this card is amazing. It's a one of. I mean usually like the situations I've used this is like, oh, you use this and you like either win the game or like instantly turn the tides of the game, and I seldom needed more than one, but again, Magician of Faith can get you that extra copy. Alright, I'm running 2 copies of Magic Drain. Magic Drain is a card that absorbs all your opponent's summoning power, so this is really, really good. If you open this in your opening hand, it's really hard for them to play. So both players start with 4 summoning power, right, or summoning points. And if you open this on your first turn, like you're going first, right? Whoops. You basically activate it, and then you immediately remove all 4 of their summoning points and give them to yourself, right? So, if this is turn 1, you have 4 summoning points, you don't summon a monster, you play this, you steal 4 summoning points from them, you're now at 8, they're at 0, and next turn you'll be at 11, right? Whereas they're going to start their turn with 0, which means they cannot summon a monster, they can only put a spell or trap. So that's really useful too, because like, their first card that if they put a card down on turn 1, it's always going to be a spell trap, because it's impossible to put a monster down, right, after you use Magic Drain. So yeah, so a lot of utility there, and also like generates huge advantage. I put 2 in my deck. Usually I do not want to revive this card with Magician of Faith. I'd rather use her to revive higher impact cards like some of these others I mentioned. And also like sometimes like if you use this card mid-game, it might be a dud because they might not have any summoning points for you to steal. So like use this after like, so if they recently summon a big boss monster, don't use this, right? A single copy of Earthshaker. I like Earthshaker because what it does is it literally like just randomizes the entire field, right? Destroys all labyrinth, right? So if you're playing on a field with a lot of labyrinth, oftentimes like there'll be a lot of choke points or like really unfortunate situations where like you can't really move or like you're limited what you can do or where you can move. Earthshaker literally shakes up the field, right? And it also repositions every card on the board. So yeah, removes all labyrinth, repositions every space on the board. So also if you have like a clump, like a cluster of a crush area, uh, yeah, you can now distribute it across the board, so it's a lot easier to deal with. And it also moves cards around, so like maybe one of your cards will randomly like be moved next to your opponent's leader. You can attack them directly. But then again, same thing we said about you. Maybe one of their monsters gets rearranged next to you, and they can attack you directly. So, but yeah, so I like shake. So it's good to shake things up. It's very map dependent. Not useful every map, but like can be useful, especially if like you're being cornered by your opponent. So one of the win conditions in this game is that other than like reducing your opponent's life points to 0, if you can successfully surround your opponent's leader with all of your cards and they cannot move, then you win the game, right? So if it's getting to a point where that looks like it's happening, Earthshaker is like a get out of jail free card for that. It literally like shakes up the whole field and rearranges everything. It's a one of copy. Maybe you want to revive with Magician Faith, but yeah, it can really get you like out of a pickle. Alright, I'm running 2 copies of Black Pendant. Black Pendant is the only equip spell or like power up spell that I'm running. It says increase the power of dark spellcasters by 500. So this can be used to power up Dark Magician Girl, or a Dark Elf. So you give this to a Dark Elf. You have a level 4 with 2700 attack on the field. Crazy. Yeah, and since it's a power up, you can spell, you can revive with Magician of Faith if you really need to. But yeah, this helps you like just attack over some problematic monsters with one of your dark spellcasters. Unfortunately, it cannot be used with Gemini Elf or Mystic Elf, but Mystic Elf already can like power herself up, and you don't really need this for Magician of Faith. So yeah, two of these. Two Rirokus. So some would argue Riroku is the best card in the game, and you know some people like to run three. But I think two is enough, honestly. Especially since you have Magician of Faith, like that's three more copies. But let's read what this says. It's a power up. So you equip when it equips a monster, reduces your opponent's life points by half, and adds that reduced amount to the power of all monsters. By all monsters means like the monster that's equipped to, right? So this can be equipped to any monster. It literally cuts your opponent's life points in half and gives that amount to your monster as attack and defense. So like you start out with 4,000 life points. Like, so does your opponent. If you use this to equip to like any of your monsters, they immediately lose 2,000 life points, and your monster gains 2,000 attack defense. Like, this is insane. The reason I run two is because like if you use one, they're at 2,000 life points. You use two, they're at 1,000 life points. The third one will get them down to 500, which you know is kind of silly given that you have like tremendous fire, which can literally just like burn the last 1,000. But yeah, like at that point, like 500 might as well be another black pendant, right? It doesn't do that much. Definitely diminishing returns. But yeah, two I think is a pretty solid number. All right, three copies of Widespread Ruin. Widespread Ruin is a great trap. Uh, it's a trap that when it's triggered against enemy, destroys every card located in a 3x3 space area. So with this card in the center, it's basically like you know, like just one space around all cards. So this is great if you just want because it can just like if it's well positioned, it can just blow up a bunch of your opponent's cards. Like you just send this in your front line, like pretend it's like a monster or whatever. Just send it into like the middle of their cards. Whoops. And yeah, if either of them try to attack it or like trigger it, it'll just blow up everything. This is great. Be careful because you know about the positioning because it can also blow up your cards. Yeah, just make sure your cards are not in range if it does get triggered. I have one copy of Gorgon's Eye. Gorgon's Eye is one of the best traps in the game. So what it does is it's a permanent trap, so aka a continuous trap, that triggers when an enemy card completes its move in defense position. Automatically cancels the move and eternally spellbinds it, right? So if a card tries to go in defense position, and by the way, in this game, spells and traps can go in defense position, it's forced back into attack position, and it's spellbound forever, right? So it means it cannot move or do anything. Like it's nuts. This is such a good trap card. It's a continuous trap, like you know, so you don't ever need more than one. You know, and like this game is like very easy for like digging cards out of your deck. But like if all your cards are useful, like this is just a amazing card. You don't need more than one. If this gets destroyed for whatever reason, just revive it with Magician of Faith. Yeah, she can revive traps too. So yeah, three copies of Mirror Force. This is probably the best trap card in the game, and it combos very well with Gorgon's Eye. So this card, like in the TCG, triggers when an enemy initiates attack against your leader or other cards on the field. Destroys every one of your opponent's attack position cards on the field, right? So that means that this can destroy spells and traps too, not just monsters. So any cards that are in attack position get destroyed, right? And guess what? If you have Gorgon's Eye active, that means none of their cards can be in defense position, so Mirror Force will wipe out their entire field. Like, this is insane, right? This is why it's a 99 deck cost card. This is so good. And it can be revived off Magician of Faith, right? So you have three more copies. It's crazy. I mean, like, if you revive off Magician of Faith, they're going to know, but, like, it literally means they cannot attack you, right? Really good. And then the final card in the deck is the lone copy of Mirror Wall. So Mirror Wall is pretty good. So it's a permanent trap, so continuous trap. That triggers when an enemy attacks your leader or other cards on the field. It reduces the attack of the enemy by half, right? So let's say you have a Dark Magician, and they have a Blue Eyes. Your Blue Eyes attacks Dark Magician. This immediately triggers, and Blue Eyes attack becomes 1,500, and it'll die, right? So this is a permanent reduction, right? This isn't just for the battle. This isn't just till the end phase. This is for the rest of the game. Like, any monster that attacks you will get their attack reduced by half permanently. Like, this is such a good card. So good. I think this is like more like I think this does the same thing in the anime, or like I think like My Valentine had this card, and yeah, it's so good how good this card, like crazy how good this card is. So anyway, those are 40 cards. Um Yeah, I mean, you know, I haven't, you know, I played this game as a kid. I recently got back into it because I was bored, and yeah, I mean, are there ways to improve this deck? Probably, but yeah, and you know, if you're more experienced in the game, feel free to comment down in the comment section below about how you think I can improve this deck. But this deck is like really solid. In fact, let's just do like a quick test game just to see. Just to see. So this is just a random AI. So let's just see how it plays. Yeah, let's just do the default map. It doesn't matter. But this deck works well in any map because you have Earthshaker. Like you won't get bogged down by Crush or by Labyrinth spaces. So all right. So I always move forward. Let's see what our opening hand is. All right. So we opened Mirror Wall. So that's great. I'm gonna go ahead and put down Widespread Ruin, because I basically just want to start sending it to my opponent, right? My opponent's going to start putting cards down, and if any of them attack this, he'll just blow them all up. So, alright, let's see what she does. Okay, so she created a fusion, so that's definitely a monster, confirmed, because spells and traps cannot fuse, right? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put down my mirror wall. Actually, I don't think I need this yet. Yeah, because I don't really have a monster, right? I'm actually going to go ahead and just do 1,000 points of damage. Yeah, note the Yami underneath my leader. So I always like to walk towards the middle of the board of the game board because I mean, if you've ever played any sort of game that has a board or like a map, the general rule is whoever has control of the center of the board uh, is typically in the, you know, has the advantage, or like will likely end up winning. Like it's the same in chess, right? Like whoever controls the middle, you know, has a game in their hands essentially. So yeah, that's why I like to go towards the middle as soon as possible. Yeah, let's see if they're gonna summon another monster. Oh, that's another fusion. Okay. Oh, so my trap did not trigger because I think it didn't trigger because the leader effect. Yeah, I think the leader effect um yeah, um protects your cards from like certain cards. So I think, yeah, the leader effect protected these cards. So that's okay. I'm just gonna move this back because that leader effect has a range. I'm gonna go ahead and put down. I want to put. I think I actually want to put Mirror Force here. Like, so both of her cards are guaranteed to be monsters, right? Um, hold on, let me think about this. So I have a 10 summoning power. Maybe I should just summon. No, because if I summon, it might get blown up by. Yeah, I'm gonna put down Mirror Force. It might get blown up by the Widespread Ruins effect. Yeah, I always like to move just to spread out around as much Yami as I can. All right, let's see if it'll get triggered now. Oh, it went into defense mode. Okay. All right, so two of their cards are in defense mode. Um, let's see what my hand is. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my Dark Elf now. So I'm actually going to send this card over, so that way my Dark Elf is outside of its range, and I'm gonna go ahead and summon the Dark Elf. 2200 attack. All right. This card over here. All right. So triggered Mirror Force, which blew up only two of their cards because they put their stuff in defense mode. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set down Mirror Wall. Well, let me see. Alright, I can't summon anymore. Yeah, so one card per turn. Oh, trying to go after my leader, huh? It's not gonna work. Alright, so this... Let's send this Dark Elf after it. Oh, okay. So, it's actually a closer battle than I thought. Oh, yeah, because I lost the Yami advantage. I do appreciate the animations in this game. Like, this game has like 7,000 different cards, or so, I don't know, some thousands of different cards, and they made an animation for all of these, right? Like on PlayStation 2. Like, I really appreciate that, and of course it's skippable if I want to. All right. I'm surprised I didn't draw any of my Dark Magicians, but that's okay. Dark Elf is perfectly workable. All right. Okay. Our leader's starting to retreat. Wow, this is a little too easy. So my widespread ruin is back here. Let's see. Give me a Dark Magician. Magician of Faith. That would revive my Mirror Force. I could also do Change of Heart on the card next to her. Not even sure if it's a... I think I might as well revive Mirror Force. Oh, actually, no, I'll just revive Tremendous Fire. Just do another 1,000 damage to them, right? Why not? I don't really need Mirror Force when I have Mirror Wall here, right? Alright, so this is the worst thing you can do is back yourself into a corner like this. Should never do that. Alright, so Mirror Wall triggered on attack. So let's see who I'm going to be fighting. Barrel Dragon. So Barrel Dragon's pretty good. Randomly destroys a random card at the start when it gets flipped up. But yeah, Mirror Wall reduced its attack in half. So this is going to be a very sad dragon. Although this animation does look pretty awesome though. Too bad it's not going to actually destroy my elf. I just wish that you know, the TCG, like American Yu-Gi-Oh, didn't censor it, like, cause it's in Japan, like the original design for Barrel Dragon was supposed to be like barrels of a gun, so like the barrels are supposed to be like gunmetal color, but whatever. Yeah, these are like Nerf colors, like water guns. Yeah, that's why Mirror Wall is so good. All right, so she's at 2,200. Let's do another 1,000 damage. Might as well put Magician Faith over here. Let me see. Oh, look at that. Another... Wow, I haven't drawn a single Dark Magician here. Okay. Alright, let's see what this is. Okay, that was a spell trap. Alright, so I'm gonna move my widespread rune back a bit. So I lost my other Dark Elf, but at this point, like, she's in a corner. If she moves to the right to dodge the attack, I'm just gonna summon another elf here and just finish her, right? Like, this game is over. Where are my Dark Magicians? What is the shuffling on this deck? I drew all 3 of my Mystic Elves, but not a single Dark Magician. Alright, whatever. Mystic Elf will finish the job. Yeah, so 1,800 attack. Bam. Easy peasy. Good game. That was a little anticlimactic because I didn't actually summon my Dark Magician. I have to do this roulette thing. Alright, I'm gonna try that again, but I want to actually summon Dark Magician, or at least or maybe Dark Magician Girl, just so y'all can see, like. Alright, so let's go on a more interesting map. Let's do, I don't know, this map is pretty interesting, I guess. Let's do this one. Yeah, this is a good example because it has Crush and it has a bunch of Sogen and no Yami. Yeah, yeah, this is a better map, a more interesting map. Yeah, so in this game, fields like Sogen, spellcasters lose 500 points when on Sogen. So yeah, this is gonna showcase my leader ability, even like just show how important it is to have it. Ooh, Gorgon's Eye. No cards in defense mode. I did draw a Dark Magician Girl, so that's nice. I'm just gonna put this in defense mode here. Alright, let's see what she's gonna do. Defense mode? Oh, going for the attack. Okay, I can dig it. Alright, so you can't actually attack me because, hold on, so let me think about this. Well, that's a field. I don't think he can attack me because of the crush being in the way here. So why don't I do this? I'm gonna go ahead, since I have 7 summoning, I'm gonna go ahead and bring out DM Girl. Actually, Gemini Elf for now. Yeah, because I can summon DM Girl next turn. And I think I'm just gonna end it there. Do I want to move my trap? Nah, that's good. Alright, let's see if he's gonna go into defense mode or what the deal is here. Oh, they went into the crush terrain. Okay. Alright, so Gorgon's Eye stopped the defense mode here. Alright. So if it's in the crush terrain, that means that it is a monster under 1500 attack. Probably. So what can I do here? I could attack with a Magician of Faith. She'll be at 700. Or I could just attack with Gemini Elf, right? So this is a weak. So Gemini Elf will die in the combat, but she'll still get to attack, right? So yeah, this is why I put down Gemini Elf. I just want to use this as a sacrificial lamb. Okay, yeah, 100 attack, bruh. Why would you send 100? Yeah, the AI in this game is not very smart sometimes. Like, I'll lose my Gemini Elf, but I'm about to deal 2,000 damage here, so. Gemini Elf also censored for the American Yugioh, by the way. T/TCG. For those of you who've never seen Gemini Elf's attack. Alright, goodbye egg. So that's 2k damage. And Gemini Elf will die, but, you know, because of the crush virus. But we're going to fix that right away by standing on it. So now it's a Yami space. And now I'm going to summon... Actually, I don't have to summon anything because that monster, or that card is spellbound. I'm just going to use Tremendous Fire and do another 1,000 here. Although, maybe if this is a monster, I could have just ended the game, right? But, with a Dark Magician Girl. But, yeah, let's just leave it at that for now. I don't want to assume it's a monster. If it's a spell traplet, like... This leader is also not very smart. She's staying put. Alright, let's see what we have here. So, we could just use Magician of Faith to revive Tremendous Fire and then, like, use it to blow out their life points, but, let's see. I actually, that's not as fun. I'm gonna put on my Dark Magician Girl. So let's see if it's a monster. No, it is a spell trap. I knew it. Okay. So now their leader has to move if they don't want to get attacked. Yeah, Sogen's very annoying. The Toon World field also decreases monster attacks by 500. Alright, so that's a strong monster probably. Might be the Dark Witch, which is a fairy, and will not be affected by Sogen. Ooh, there's Dark Magician. Alright, nice. So I'm gonna move up here. Let's bring out Magician of Faith. And get my Tremendous Fire back. I just wanna. I know you normally shouldn't flip your reveal your card, but I really want to see my Dark Magician Girl. Check this out. Yeah, there she is. All right. No, she's at 2200 because of the field effects. The 200 comes from my leader ability. You can run, but you can't hide. Alright, so I'm a little cognizant about that monster. It might be a barrel dragon or it might be... If it's a barrel dragon, I'll screw. If it's a dark witch, I forgot. I think dark witch was at 2100 attack. I forget. Yeah, DM girl and DM at the same attack here because I boosted her with a black pendant. All right. So yeah, like you should never corner yourself like this. This is how you lose games. Like you gotta assert map control. All right. So the fact that he did not attack me makes me think that that is the dark witch. Ooh, hello. I'll decide what to set based on what these cards are. No, it's just some egg. Although, oh yeah, it's an attack position because it can't go into defense thanks to my Gorgon's Eye. So, yeah, this will do the rest of the life points. So I don't even need to use Tremendous Fire. Hell yeah. Bam. Goodbye. And that's game. Nice. Alright. So that's game. Alright, GG. Actually, I kind of want to show my Dark Magician attacking. Yeah, so you saw the Dark Magician girl attack animation. Let's see if I can show you the Dark Magician attack animation. Let's go to another map. Last one. Let's do... That's kind of annoying. Yeah, the AI is not very smart about moving around. Let's do this one. Yeah. Half the map here is Yami. Always move up. Let's see what we have here. Gorgon's Eye. Oh baby, this card is just great. Whoops, don't want to reveal that. Let's put it in defense mode. I love how you can put spells and traps in defense mode, like try to fake out your opponent. Here's a fusion. That's probably the Dark Witch. I think fairies get boosted in the mountains. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say, yeah, they get attack boost from being in the mountains. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and use Change of Heart. Oh, it didn't work because of the effect. Oh, I messed that up. Yeah, yeah. So the leader is protecting because is in range. So because this card is in range of the leader effect, Change of Heart doesn't do anything. Damn. Yeah, that was a big misplay on my part. Clearly, I should learn to play, right? All right, let's see. There's just a monster. Alright, so I'm gonna walk on top of the crush here. I wonder if I can bait them into attacking this defense mode. Whoops, defense mode Mystic Elf, right? She'll get an 800 boost if she's attacked. And that'll do some damage to life points. Let's see. Oh, yep. Took the bait. Look at that. Oh, yep. Okay, 2600 attack means, yeah, fairies do get a bonus in the mountains. I forgot about that. Yeah, mountains I usually think about wing beasts and dragons, but yeah. In this game, Ooh, that's a pretty cool animation. Too bad it won't do anything. Haha. Get Shrek'd. Alright, so I do know... Okay, so I confirm that attack is indeed 2600. Okay, so the reason that card was able to go in defense mode is because their leader's ability protected them from it. So Alright, let me see if I can bait something here. Oh, Mirror Force is not going to work because the fairy's protected by their leader. That's really annoying. Yeah, that leader ability is really good, huh? So if she leaves the mountains, she'll be 2100. So I'm going to put Gemini Elf here and threaten the leader. So best case, like, you know, best case, she doesn't attack my Gemini Elf. Worst case, she does and then just crashes into it. And then that's like a monster I don't have to deal with anymore. So their leader's ability only protects fairies, does not protect against, like, for example, does not protect dragons. Oh shit. Manga Ryuran. Yep, that's 2200. I'm curious what his attack animation looks like. Dude, yo, that's trippy. Alright. My poor Gemini Elf. That's okay. Alright, so where's my Dark Magician? I guess I could use, if I use Mirror Force will affect Manga Ryuran because he's a dragon, not a fairy. And Mirror Force will also destroy these cards here. And also, because the leader's all the way up here, this fairy over here is no longer in range. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set Mirror Force down. And then I'm going to put it in defense mode. Just to see if he takes the bait. But yeah, it should destroy at least, like, 3 of her cards. Yep, here we go. Yeah, 3 of her cards destroyed. Excellent. Alright, now, I just need a Dark Magician. I can attack for game, right? Where's my Dark Magician? Alright, I'm going to try to speed up getting a Dark Magician out. So here's what I'm going to do. Because I want my Dark Magician. I'm going to go ahead and... Well, first I got to move closer. She's at 36? Okay. So I'm going to discard some cards from my hand. I'm going to discard Magician of Faith. Probably don't need Dark Hole. And Gemini Elf. Yeah, you can just arbitrarily discard cards from your hand like this. It's pretty funny. And Gemini Elf will do 2100. I just want to attack for game using Dark Magician. That's all I want in life, right? Thanks to Mirror Force, her only card on the field is Dark Witch. And Dark Witch can only crash into Gemini Elf. Okay, here we go. Alright, did I draw a Dark Magician? No, but I did draw Tremendous Fire, which can deal a nice chunk of their life points. There he is! Alright, here's my boy. Alright, now check this out. So he's 3200, right? 750, 375, 500, 500. And they have 375 life points. Alright, so who am I going to attack? I can attack either this card or this card. I want to attack a monster so that I can actually do battle. Right? So I'm going to move up here. Please tell me. Yep, that is a monster. Alright. Look at that. 4825. This egg has nothing. Alright, let's see that dark magic attack, baby. Ooh, look at that. Dark magical circle. It really sucks that they use the blonde Dark Magician model. I wish they used the purple-haired one, the Yugi one. You know, because the card is the purple one. Yep, he's completely dead. This little egg. Could not even go into defense position because of my Gorgon Eye. So, alright. Nice. Nothing personal, kid. Look at that. 48, 25 damage. Alright, and that's game. So yeah, this deck is pretty strong. Obviously, really strong. You could easily... You know, it's too strong to play through a single player mode, but it is low enough deck cost that you can use it in the final boss fight. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously like, if you want to go through uh, the campaign mode, like the single player campaign, all you have to do is swap out some of the really expensive cards for some of the cheaper ones. I mean, like, this deck is so stacked that like you can easily afford to cut a few, especially when you have a card like Magician of Faith, which can literally just like revive, like uh, your broken spells and traps. But anyway, yeah. So hope you all enjoy this. Maybe I inspired a few of you to look into this game and like play this on. I think it's more fun than Master Duel. Like, yeah, you can only play against AI, but like, I mean, you're basically playing against the AI anyway on Master Duel, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like sitting there for 10 minutes watching Drytron combos uh, gets a little stale after some time. But anyway, um, yeah. So that's my Dark Magician deck. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and peace.